Round 2 of the U.S. Senior Open is being played today at Omaha Country Club. This event brings some of golf's most elite players to town. It's special because it's a major, and there are only 5 of those each year on the Champions Tour. But what else? I asked several players why the U.S. Senior Open is more special than most.
Well, it's up there. I mean, you have the Open Championship, which I played 17 times around Britain, and you know that to me was the pinnacle of the European Tour, and you know maybe the world. And some would argue that the U.S. Open or the Open Championship is the best one to win. But for me, you know, winning the Open Championship would have been a dream. But you know, I never got close enough to that. But you know, these tournaments, the US Senior Open, the Senior Open Championship that we play, and the USPGA are way up there for the Senior Tour.
The US Senior Open, you know, to have an opportunity to be the champion of a USGA championship, you know, it's not the same as the US Open because of the age, you know, qualifications, but it's, you know, the pinnacle of our golf career, really, of the 50 and older golf career.
Everybody that's playing in this championship knows what the USGA is and knows what a USGA championship means. Just about everybody in this field probably played US Junior Championships and then the US Amateur, the US Open, and now they're here at the US Senior Open, and some players that are amateurs play in the Senior Amateurs and the US Amateurs as well. So we all know how special it is, and if you can put your name behind a USGA championship at whatever level, it really puts you in a different category, and it's very special. So this is different than the run-of-the-mill regular type PGA Tour or Champions Tour event. This is just unique because it's the USGA Championship.
You know, in '07 I was an alternate at the US Open in Oakmont, which was really fun. I figured I was 47 at the time. I'm like, okay, I'm never gonna have this chance again. I lost in a playoff to play. So I was the first alternate, so I got to go to Oakmont, which was phenomenal. And all I could do was hit balls and chip and putt. I couldn't play the course. So when I got the opportunity here a few weeks ago, winning at Arbor Links, I thought, man, this is cool. It's in Omaha. I mean, it's 3 hours from Topeka, so it's pretty easy to come up here. You know, with Troy from back in our day and Mike Schuhart, it's over in Lincoln, and Steve Gotchi. I played with Bruce Vaughn today. We all played the Prairie Tour together, so it's really kind of fun to be up here. And then you're with Tom Watson, Fred Couples, Tom Lehman, Mark O'Meara, you know, Corey Pavin. That's really cool. So, but I'm playing in this one, so that means you got to get focused on what you're doing. And you know, I would love to make the cut, but the odds aren't good for that. I understand that, so, but I'm going to be sure trying to do that.
You know, it's just the fact that we travel to different golf courses in different regions to play that. It's not, I mean, we love going to the same towns over and over again, but when we get to see different venues, the people here in Omaha, unbelievable. I mean, there's tons of people out here. It's great. It's going to be very challenging too. So we like that. We wouldn't want to play a golf course like this every week. You know, we'd be in the funny farm, but you know, a couple times a year, like we have this, it's very good for us to kind of see where our game really is.
I think they're going to see some great golf. There's some incredible players here. You know, from the Watsons to the Kites to the, you know, the Hall of Famers on down. You know, with Couples and these guys, and they're going to, I think, be very impressed with the quality of golf that's played here.
It's really interesting to listen to those gentlemen speak. That was on Tuesday that we talked to them. Peter Jacobson, who you heard from in that piece, withdrew from the tournament yesterday because of heat-related health issues.
And he looked hot in that video, too.
And that's kind of when it started. It wasn't just the heat yesterday, but I think he started kind of feeling a bit of it on Tuesday, and it just continued over into his round yesterday. So that leaves us with 155 players in the field.
Yeah, not all of them are going to tee off tomorrow because the cut it's going to be made at the end of play today. So low 60 in ties, plus anyone within 10 strokes of the leader, they're going to advance and get to play in the last 2 days.
And then something that Jeff Sluman said there too about, you know, a course this challenging would be in the funny farm if we had to play it all the time.
Right.
And we think really Omaha Country Club is giving them that much of a test. A couple of points today with the wind. It's certainly going to make scores higher than we saw yesterday, and we're already seeing that on the leaderboard. Before we came out to do the show, I think only 2 guys were under par on their rounds today. And the other point is about the rough. It might have been Bernard Longer who said yesterday that these are the thickest roughs he's ever seen. not necessarily the tallest, but the thickest, the density of the grass in the rough. You can't even see their shoes, their ankles when they're walking around in it. And they'd hit a shot and the ball's just a few yards outside of the fairway. It's not like there are trees or shrubs everywhere.
Right, that's a
they
good
can't
point.
find their balls, and they're all walking around with volunteers trying to think, well, where did it go? And the gallery's thinking, well, it's right there. It landed right there. Don't you see it? You can't see
I
it.
I know a couple of guys are complaining about the rough. They're also, well, not complaining, but it is a hilly course.
Yes.
And so a lot of the guys have been talking about, they're not used to that. We're not used to that
Yeah.
in Omaha either. That's one of the hilliest courses in Omaha. You go to
Yeah.
some other courses, you don't
Well,
see that a
it's
lot.
not just up and down, but they go whoo, left to right like a plane.
We got to go.
I know.
But are you trying to be a golf analyst at,
No.
at the Golf Channel? Because
No.
you're trying to get a new job, aren't you?
No,
Are you going
stop
to
it.
send this resume tape in? You're
You'd
leaving this, aren't
like- you'd like to
You
get
know
rid of
who's a
me.
golf fanatic? Rocker Alice Cooper.
Yeah,
That's who.
he's playing at Star Cove tomorrow night. How the concert celebrates Todd and Tyler after a visit with rising star Mullen
You're
Ackerman.
making a resume
you
tape,
wish.
aren't you?
You wish.